Devin Haney is in psycho shape, absolutely shredded. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Ego Weight Watchers, aka Ew, where I give you guys a look into the fighter lifestyle before, after, and progress picks, especially if they have an upcoming fight. May 20th is about to go down. ESPN pay-per-view. Undisputed champion at the lightweight division. Devin the Dream Haney versus the Matrix, Vasily Lomachenko. Decorated amateur, 8K. Now I'm looking forward to this fight, Haney versus Lomachenko. It should be a doozy. Now this fight is like 4 years in the making. Devin Haney, he was very young, probably about 20 years old when he was calling out Vasily Lomachenko, and Lomachenko became the franchise champion rather than fight Devin Haney, which to me is a bad look, because if you're a champion, you gotta be a champion always. And Vasily Lomachenko, especially at that time, was receiving a lot of praise from old media. And the crazy thing about old media is this: they want to put you up on a pedestal. They'll prop you up and say you're great, say you're the best in the last 25 years. They'll say you're invincible, unstoppable, rate you on all the pound for pound lists, give you the Ring Magazine belt, vote you fighter of the year, all these things. But then they don't hold those fighters that they hoist up to any standard of excellence, like Lomachenko. So he gets called Nomachenko, he gets called high tech. He's supposed to be, they keep referencing his amateur pedigree. He's supposed to be the god, but they don't talk about his losses. They don't talk about his shortcomings. They don't talk about how the Jermaine Ortiz fight, Ortiz really beat him. Nonetheless, Devin Haney, he's looking ready for the moment. And he said this on the Blood, Sweat, and Tears show. It's actually worse for you now, which is exactly what I said. I think if Lomachenko would have fought him 4 years ago, that would have been a better chance for him to beat Devin Haney. I'm not saying it's inconceivable that he beats Devin Haney now, but what I am saying is he would have had a supreme advantage in terms of experience. Now you let Devin Haney maybe come into his man strength, develop as a fighter, develop into his frame. He's bigger than before, maybe slightly taller than before, because men stop puberty probably around 25. Devin Haney's like 24, right? So guys can keep growing usually up to about like age 25. And once you get about 25, you're probably not going to get any taller. So needless to say, he was young. He would have been 20 years old. He wasn't a champion and these types of things. Now you let him grow, both as a fighter and also physically, mentally, spiritually, because Devin Haney right now is Muslim. I don't know if he was Muslim back then. So he's just in a whole different frame of mind now that he's practicing Islam and things like that. So some fighters, they get more clarity when they get religious, things like that. As for me personally, I've been in boxing for so long, so I've come up and seen a lot of these guys, young guys, back when they were super small and really teens. Like Devin Haney, I seen him when he was a teen. I've seen him spar when he was a teenager. I've seen him at fights. Him and Jesse Vargas was giving him props, saying that he's a hell of a fighter because the two of them sparred. These are the types of things and stories I was hearing about Devin Haney in interviews and just different stuff like that. So it's great to see young fighters on their journey, and Devin Haney says it's his time now. As you guys seen in the pictures throughout this video, Devin Haney, he's pulled out all the stops and he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. Ego Weight Watchers. Now, in all fairness, on my channel, I give you guys objective, critical thinking. That's how I like to do it. My only question with Devin Haney is this, and listen up, Ego Weight Watchers. Devin Haney, to me, he looks bigger in terms of like vascular and musculature. He looks bigger than he's ever looked throughout his career. So that being said, even bigger than his last fight with George Kambosos. So with that being said, I'm really curious to see how he looks on fight night, and before that, how he looks on the scale, because he didn't look as big. Like, he looks just bigger. Like, he just looks fuller and bigger in these pictures and stuff like that, in every interviews and things like that. And when we seen him for the Kambosos fight in Australia, his face he looked dehydrated. You know, he's looked extremely like dried and thinned out and things like that. So I understand like bulking up and making, but I'm just curious, because when I look at him like on the Blood, Sweat and Tears, and I've seen this various stuff with Devin Haney, it looks like he's going in the opposite direction. You still got to make the weight cut. We know Lomachenko is smaller, and it's a more natural probably weight cut from whatever Loma's walk around weight is to actually making the lightweight. So that's the only thing that's got me intrigued and curious to see, hey, Devin Haney looks bigger than he's ever looked. And in his last fight and even past fights, I've seen him where his face looked like drawn out and kind of weight drained. How's he going to look on the scale? Because again, it looks like you've added size. However, you have to cut down and make weight. And the thing is, Devin Haney's already talked about this particular weight class. He doesn't know how long he can make it. He doesn't know how long he'll be there, but the better opportunities and the money fights are there. Legacy fights are there. So I'm just really curious about the weight, you know, in terms of the skill and the mindset. I'm not really worried about that. I'm just curious how he's going to look on the scale. You guys let me know what you think. Devin Haney, he looks bigger, but does that translate to stronger? Does that translate to a tougher weight cut? And again, my question is we're so close to the fight and he's looking pretty big. When does the weight cut come into play? Like, when does that come into the fold? Are you going to try to dump a bunch of weight in the next coming days? You know, I mean, I don't know what his weight is. I'm just saying from a physical perspective and from the eye test, he definitely looks bigger than he did previously or in past fights. So I'm really interested how that's going to play out. Ego Weight Watchers, best in the business, and I'm out.
The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.